So what I do now on these fish fillets, I'll just go ahead and cut them up, like chunk size them, just like so. And you end up with just a good amount of fish. Put it in your bowl. We end up with nice fish. Okay, now what we're going to do is, if you didn't get to practice the first side, we'll go ahead and do the second side, okay? Okay, we did our ringing right here. We made our ring around the neck. Now what we're doing is we're going down the ribs. You can see the ribs right here. That's the end of your ribs right there. And what we want to do is we want to make our cut right down through there. Just like so. And you can feel that. Go right down to the rear end. Just like so. What'll happen is that's all pulls away like so. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. See this fin here? We're going to make our cut right along that. Kind of a shallow cut, not very deep. You want to stay on top of that backbone, which is right here. You can see it right in there. Okay, take your knife, hold it flat along there. Go just like so. And that way we got that filleted right off of there. Hardly any meat wasted. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this fish up. I'm going to get where I can work on it here. I can't work on it too good the way I'm sitting, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make that cut down along that bone there. And you'll notice when you come up to this backbone here, right here where that top fin is, just make a little cut around that, just like so. Now if you cut that fish off right here, like a lot of people do, you're wasting a lot of good meat. It's just wasteful, so we'll do it this way and save as much meat as we can. And just kind of peel that back, just like so. And then you'll get down to where you made your cut along the top of your rib, bottom of your ribs, I say. Just like so. Cut that loose. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to get back to doing that, getting the skin off of the fillet. Okay, and here you go. You see your back of your fish right here? That's the tail end. What you do is you just make a little cut there. And just so enough so you can hold your finger there. And just work that right on up, just like so. Now if you go too deep with your knife, you'll cut through the skin, and you'll end up with a little bit of skin on the back of the fish. We don't want that. We just want to. And then when we get into some other fish, I'll teach you how to fillet them off, and you can hold your knife up a little bit, and you can take the meat right on off of there. Okay, there's the skin off of there. And we got just a little bit of skin on here, which is no, we can get rid of that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this red meat. This red, I call it red meat, but it's a fatty type of meat, fatty tissue. So we're going to get rid of that, and you'll improve the taste of that fillet 100% or more. You'll make it go from sometimes inedible to just a really nice piece of meat. You go to a store, you won't find this. They leave that in there, so when you get home, you end up having to cut that off. Anyway, there's a beautiful fillet right there. Okay, I mean that's nice and pretty. It'll look good in the pan. I'm one for food presentation. I get rid of the fat on there. I want my food to look good. Anyway, there we go. Go ahead and cut it up in little pieces. I'll tell you what, you won't find better eating right there than that right there. Okay, now we got this fish here, another catfish. This is a nice one. Your bigger catfish are more, it's better to do them, fillet them, I think, nowadays. Oh, forgot. Let me get back to this other fish. We almost wasted a good piece of meat here. I got ahead of myself. Okay, now what you see here, you see this belly meat? A lot of people just throw that away. Hey, That's a good piece of meat right there. I mean, a real good piece of meat. So what we're doing is we're taking that out of here. You see that? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to get that skin off and the silver skin off and get a beautiful piece of meat. Okay? So we want to get rid of these back fins first right here. We'll just go ahead and get rid of those because that's all bony stuff anyway. Anyway, we got this piece of meat right here. You see that? We got the silver skin right here. That's what gives it the bad taste if you go to fry that up like that. So what we want to do is we're going to fillet this out, or skin this out just like we would any other piece of fish. Go ahead and get yourself a little corner started here. And just go ahead and fillet, get this skin off of here, just like this. Okay? Alright, Susie. Just like so. Then you'll end up with two pieces of meat, or one piece right like this. This is the center line of the belly right here. So what we want to do, we've got the outside skin off, so you just want to take your fillet knife and do the inside just like so. And what that does is that'll take that silver skin on the inside off right here. See that? You'll end up with a nice piece of fillet like that right there. I mean, and then you want to talk about good eating. That is good eating. So what you do is you just turn that over and do exactly the same thing. The same thing, just fillet it right off the skin. No silver skin left, beautiful tasting meat, and you'll really be surprised if you do it that way. So anyway, we got that one done with that's the hand knife. You see how quickly that can go. Okay, now we're going to go with this bigger fish here, and we're going to go ahead and get him straightened out. He's been in the fridge all night because we got in a little bit later and didn't want to mess with him. So, I got my fillet knife set up. My electric one. Right here. What we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and wring that fish just like we did before. Just like so, if I can keep my blades in. You see how we wrung that fish all the way around now. The old belly was right there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this cut right here, down along the ribs, right here. You can see these ribs sticking up right here. Go ahead and cut that through, just like you would, right down to the rear end, right here. Okay, now what we're doing, we got this broke loose, the stomach. What we want to do is we want to get this fillet off the bone now. So, what we do is we just go ahead and get your knife started just like you would with a manual knife. Go shallow, right up along these ribs, this backbone and ribby stuff right here. That bottom fin, just go right in there. You see how I got that? Now just take your knife and go all the way through the fish. And just take and work that right on down the tail. See how much that's just beautiful. Get her on up this way a little bit. Now what we're going to do, we're going to turn her over onto its belly. And we're going to go ahead and work like this right here. Just go right up along that back. Just like so. Right against these bones right here. You see that? Now go around this bone here. And just like so. We ended up